It tastes like it was really complicated, which it wasn't. Hey friends, I hope your week is off to a great start. Today we're going to be trying out Christina Chaey's recipe for spicy chicken lettuce wraps. I'm a big fan of lettuce wraps. I love getting them at restaurants. I've never made them at home because I always thought it would require a bunch of unique ingredients. However, Christina did a great job with this recipe. There's only one thing that I had to buy specifically for this recipe, which is the fish sauce. However, it was readily available through my grocery service. So this is a very low risk recipe and it looks absolutely delicious. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Here in a small bowl, I've got some dark brown sugar. To that, I'm going to add in some low sodium soy sauce. Next is the sriracha, and then last is the fish sauce. Fish sauce has a very strong flavor. It's just fermented anchovies and salt. It is a little bit of an acquired taste. That said, you can always pare this back to adjust it to your taste profile. So I'll whisk this together. This is going to be the sauce that we cook the chicken in, along with some garlic and scallions. All right, great. So that is all mixed together. We can go ahead and move on to the next step. So we're going to need 3 scallions, just the white and light green parts, not the dark green bits. You can save those for something else. And I'm just going to trim off the little bit of the root end here, and then just thinly slice all the way along. So I've got the white and the light green parts separated there. Now I've got 2 large cloves of garlic here, and we're just going to finely chop this as well. As easy as that, all of our ingredients are prepped, so we can head over to the stove and start cooking. I've got my 10-inch stainless steel skillet preheating over medium heat. To that, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I'm going to give it just a couple minutes to let that oil get hot. So that little piece of garlic is sizzling there, so now we can go ahead and add in the rest of the scallions and garlic, and there's just a very faint sizzle. We're just over medium. We're not trying to get this ripping hot. And we're going to cook this for just about 3 minutes. We're not really looking to put color on this. If it picks up a little color, that's okay. The main objective here is just to get these aromatics softened up a bit. Also going to hit it with a little pinch of kosher salt. Perfect. So the aromatics have been cooking for just about 3 minutes. They are softened up. They've picked up a little bit of color. Now we can go ahead and add in the meat. So I couldn't get chicken with my grocery service. They were out. So I have 94% lean ground turkey, and this is 1 pound. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop this in carefully on top. And then using a wooden spoon or a silicone spatula, we're just going to break the ground meat apart and toss it around just to ensure that it's getting cooked evenly. And toss it over itself, kind of flipping it around in the pan. This is the same thing if you were, making meat for a bolognese or making taco meat or anything like that. So you're just moving around to get it fully cooked. This should take about 5 to 7 minutes. And the recipe doesn't specify what type of fat content we're looking for in the ground meat. My assumption is that something on the leaner side is preferable to something that's very fatty. The recipe never says to drain fat off of the mixture. So if you buy a very fatty meat, I think you're going to have too much fat pooling in your pan, and you may want to drain that before you add in the soy sauce mixture. We are just at 7 minutes, and this turkey is looking fully cooked. I don't see any traces of pink remaining. So now I'm going to just quickly re-whisk the soy sauce mixture, and we'll dump this right onto the top. And we're going to cook this over medium heat for about 2 minutes. We're looking for a lot of this liquid to evaporate off, intensifying the flavors in that soy sauce mixture. And you may have noticed I switched my spatula. Whenever I'm making ground meat and I'm almost to 100% cooked, I switch the spatula out just to ensure that I don't have any raw meat lingering on my spatula. That way I'm not putting myself at risk for foodborne illness. Alrighty, so you can see the moisture level in the bottom of the pan here. I'd say at 2 minutes we're basically fully evaporated off, so I think a little bit of sauciness is probably okay here. Some of this is probably the fat that rendered out of the turkey as well. So I'm going to kill the heat and we can plate this up. In total, these spicy chicken wraps took about 15 to 20 minutes to make, from beginning prepping to having a finished plate ready to go. So overall, really happy with this. I think it looks pretty close to the picture from Bon Appetit. This is the end result here. So I do have a lettuce cup prepared for myself here, so I'm just dying to dig in. The aroma on these is absolutely delicious. And this is my lunch today, so I'm very ready to eat. So let's see. Really, really good. The first thing you taste is that fish sauce. You get that kind of umami flavor, followed by the nice kind of saltiness from the soy sauce and again from the fish sauce. And then the last bit, the heat hits you and it's kind of middle of the road. I might go a little bit higher next time, but it's definitely present. The recipe said to serve this with a little bit more sriracha on the side or drizzled over the top. So I didn't do that, so that component might bump this up to being just like spot on. Overall, really happy with these spicy chicken wraps. I think that the appearance and the taste of this is exactly what I was looking for. The flavor of this really reminds me of something I would get at a restaurant. So it's always cool when you can make something at home that tastes as good as what you got when you were dining out. So I would call this a win and definitely recommend that you give this one a try. So even if you don't have the fish sauce, I think it's worth tracking down a bottle so that you can make this because it is really, really tasty. Hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up and click subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.